Oh boy, we have a lot to talk about today. Um, I am beyond angry about this. When I did the first run of this video, my best friend thought I was having an altercation with somebody because I was yelling into my equipment. And I don't think that's a very good way to bring about this kind of content, although I know some of you all love when I rant. But I will rant. It's just not at 1,000 degrees of anger at this point. I am referencing a set of screenshots that Ballz 2.0 posted on her Instagram post. Now, I was not made aware of this until I saw the Good Katie's channel, the Good Katie's version or understanding of this material at Down the Rabbit Hole at midnight on her channel. That was the first thing I saw. Then I referenced the Ballz 2.0 set of screenshots that were sent to her. This was not an Instagram post that Katie posted together, but it was a conversation in DMs that were a complete set of that conversation. And I'm not shocked about Katie's reaction to this. Katie says, "Oh, I'm a chill person," but she isn't. She is a depraved and disgusting human being. Now, before I go further into this, I want to give you a content warning because I may yell, I will swear, I will talk about sexual harassment, abuse, you name it. So, if you're sensitive to this, please come back at another time. I completely understand, and I hope to see you again soon. Yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about this. I'm really pissed off about this. Even though I'm not surprised, I'm pissed off about this on all fronts. Katie Joy is a very angry, envious person. Anybody that she sees tethered to a man, in her eyes, tethered to a man with a certain amount of power, or represents a certain amount of power she may represent, or may not have herself, but that she wants, she will go after that woman. She is more likely to abuse and harass and degrade and create problems for that woman than she will for the men. Although she has created serious problems for at least a couple of men with serious allegations based on false reports or false suggestions of a certain type of behavior. But Katie Joy is especially angry toward women. She is harmed, emotionally harmed, financially harmed a number of women on this platform, as well as women in the world of in the reality TV universe. She has shamed women in grief for losing children. She has shamed motherhood, shamed mothers. She's sex shamed women. She has gone to advertisers to tear down some of the Duggar women. I know that they all have their own last names because, some of them are married, but you know who I'm talking about. Pretending that she cares about them, but then goes to their advertisers to try to take away their a way to make money, to have some level of independence, because in her mind, they are still entangled with their father, which that would be none of her fucking business to begin with, no matter who her father is. Katie Joy should be worrying about her own relationship with her family, her own complicated relationship. Now, I'm not saying that she should have a relationship with members of her family because I don't know what happened in that family, but somebody's fucking responsible for Katie's inner pain or character development here, because Katie is seriously fucked up. Seriously fucked up. Okay? It's like, I would think that Katie would have infinite options to be able to work on herself. And maybe I deduce that to two ways at this point, that she keeps going on the road that she's going to self-destruction, where she goes nowhere, or she goes on another road or path to getting some help and then opening those doors and opening her mind a bit and getting the healing she fucking needs. But no, she wants to be an asshat. She wants to continue abusing people on here. She gets away with it all the time. The enablement of her behavior on these platforms is just absolutely disgusting. And it's not good for her. It's not good for her at all. And for her to use that type of harassment in a DM, that should fucking kill her platform right then and there. And the fact that she harassed someone, I mean, this person wasn't the intended target. Katie assumed that she was, making up shit, referring to her reproductive system. Oh, what? Now you're too old for Robert Shinn. You're 45 years old. You're in menopause. Did you get yeast infections? Did you get STIs, sexually transmitted infections? What the fuck? Who the fuck says that? Who says that? Katie's a 45-year-old woman. Is Katie in menopause? I don't see anything wrong with menopause. It doesn't stop a woman from being a woman. It doesn't stop a person from being a person at all. It's just a stage of life. Doesn't make us less worthy of anybody else. Nobody should be tethered to men. Nobody should be measuring themselves up to whether men like them or not. People can have good relationships with men and be in menopause. What the hell? And even if she did get an STI, this intended target or this unintended target, so what? Katie should really know, shouldn't she? I'm sure she's experienced a yeast infection, how painful and awful that is. Shouldn't shame someone for getting an STI or getting a yeast infection. That's a medical problem. That's not something to shame or wish on anybody. What a fucking disgusting thing to do and to say to somebody. To wish on somebody that pain and suffering of those things. Yeast infections are horrible. They are horrible. STIs are horrible. Why would she wish that on anybody? Why would she make that assumption? Sex shaming a person she doesn't even know. Katie's such a, you know what? Katie just projects. Katie's likely experiencing all of these things, and she's just taking it out on everybody. Her self-worth is in the fucking gutter, where her mind is, where everything else is. And she's going to bring everybody else down with her. She's going to burn the whole fucking thing down. Unreal. Unreal. Harassing and haranguing a person. Making false allegations against them. I mean, Katie, you know what? This is criminal. I do agree with good Katie on this. This is absolutely abominable and criminal. And I will tell you, by the time all this is said and done, Katie's either going to be finished professionally through this 7M lawsuit and possibly incarceration, or at least having a protective order against her. There has to be something done through the legal system to stop this kind of behavior. She's not going to stop there. She's going to escalate. And if she hasn't created enough problems as it is, she is going to end up sending someone to their grave, if she hasn't already. Katie is unhinged. Katie is unhinged. She can't separate reality from this fantastical world that she's built around herself. This whole time in her life, I'm not going to say this out of retaliation because I did want to talk about this in another video, but I do think her son is not a priority. Her son is there as a matter of convenience for her in her life, and that's a shame because she gave birth to this blessing. And you'd think that she would do everything she could not to make things financially worse for him in his future, because he's going to need that financial support. He's going to need a lot of support because his mother isn't emotionally there for him. Something must have happened in that relationship. And it's leaning more towards what, in my opinion, a factitious disorder. What she has done with her child, I assume, just by the stuff that she herself has shown the world in clips, in articles, things like that presented by other content creators. It wasn't made up fiction. It was stuff that she has done and said that people have kept track of, those record keepers. I know Cactus Bill has delved into this very deeply. And Cactus Bill does have credibility. Because for in Katie's situation, people are just a way for her to advance herself. That Katie will use her son's situation. She will exacerbate it. She will have made it worse to get the things that she wants or needs. But there's, as with all of her relationships, it's just transactional, in my opinion. This is how she views people. She views people as a transaction. And what's sad about it is that she never wants to see herself as a failure. She never wants to see herself as just a human being, as a human being. She wants to pretend that she's something that she is not. And I would imagine that somebody as self-centered as her, with the level of emotional problems she has, that she saw her son as her failure instead of worshiping this little boy for the wonderful human being that he is. She should be so grateful to have a child like him, who is special and intelligent. And I mean special in the terms, in the way that he's bright, he's interesting, he's creative. She may say that about him, but that's just more of a, look at me, I'm the good mommy, I'm the savior, and all that. That has nothing to do with his benefit or his needs. So I think that there is some behavior that she and Dee Dee Blanchard have in common, in the way that they treated her kids and treated their respective children. And it's no wonder why she's so obsessed with Gypsy Blanchard in that whole situation. That's another mess I will get into another time. But Katie has these obsessions, and they become possessions once she gets a hold of them. And if they don't do what she wants, she will ruin them. Because that's how she deals with life. That's how she deals with the people in her life, whether they're close to her or not. None of that means anything to her unless she gets what she wants. Katie Joy, you are just a despicable creature. I'm not going to say you're hopeless, but I do think you're a loser. As you tell everybody else, Katie Joy, lick grass.